Hi everybody, this is Joseph Sharon, and I'm back again with another movie review. I just recently saw Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and if you know me, and you know me well, you realize that I'm a sucker for Greek mythology. I'm a sucker for mythology in general, but Greek mythology is something that I've been obsessed with ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And that's all because my dad had a copy of Bullfinch's mythology in our great library in what we call the salon, or the piano room. And yeah, that book was instrumental in shaping me. And I never once looked back because I still to this day adore mythology, particularly the Greek kind. And this leans heavily upon that. But however, it takes a lot of creative license, as you know, most people do if they're trying to craft their own tale. And DC has done this very well. Um, there's a little bit of jab, a little burn, a roast made at Marvel, which was, as a Marvel fan on the side, as well as a DC fan my whole life, I thought it was funny, and to me it was just more tongue-in-cheek than actual, poking fun. But yeah, for anybody who's unfamiliar with the franchise coming into it, they would probably make that mistake. So it was more a jab at the uninitiated, passerby, kind of casual superhero fan. I thought that the story was really well done. I thought it was far better than the first one, if that can be possible. My surrogate brother made this comment that every time you see a villain, well, more often than not, they make them Asian. And that kind of disturbs me a little bit. I'm wondering why that's a trend now, because honestly, it shouldn't be. And DC should check themselves, or any other franchise maker should check themselves before making another villain an Asian. Just saying. I mean, I've noticed a trend recently and kind of irritates me. But Lucy Liu, I mean, who doesn't love Lucy Liu, even as a villainess? She just was kicking butt as a villainess, and she was perfect, honestly. I love this movie. I loved it more than the first. And it had the same formula. Of course, yes, it's formulaic. Yes, of course, it's predictable. It had a character that I read about, and even though I knew she was coming, it made me so happy, because this character I love even more than Shazam. So I'm not going to say who the character is, but yeah, if you've read a little bit, then you're probably going to spoil it for yourself a little bit. But just seeing it on the silver screen is that much more satisfying, I think. And it just makes you squee like a little fangirl if you're like me. But what else can I say? There were a couple moments where I almost cried. Had actual, really overt product placing, which was more funny than it was kind of not inconspicuous. But I just thought it was hilarious. As far as the movie goes, I would give it 4 out of 5. It's almost perfect, but not entirely perfect. There were some things that they had, well, one instance that I thought, well, that didn't need to be there, but it didn't really bother me all that much. I thought, oh, that's okay, sure, why not? Appeal to the masses. But small thing, just tiny thing with Pedro, I should say. But beyond that, I think that the whole family dynamic thing, I love that, because I'm like, I can relate to Billy. I have abandonment issues too. But as they talked about imposter syndrome, I thought, oh boy, yeah, know what that's like. And it's interesting to see him, grapple with that, because I know what it's like, and it can be a hard one to try and tackle. But Billy does it very well, and he proves himself, I think. And yeah, I absolutely love this one, especially because of the mythology and what we get to see come to life. And yeah, that was spectacular. But beyond that, as far as the film's concerned, easily 2 thumbs up. No vetching, no lags, no nothing. There was really nothing in the film that made me get bored easily, because they kept it moving. Plus, there was one character that you thought was evil from the get-go, and there's a bit of a reveal with her, but I'm not gonna say who. It's interesting. Yeah, it was a fun film. It was a lot of fun. Of course, it had 2 clips at the end, and stay tuned, because the last one comes at the very, like, the tail end of the credits, right after it has the title of the film. It says Shazam! Fury of the Gods. So if you're wanting to stick around for the very last end credit, do, because it is worth it. It is definitely worth it. Trust me. If you're wondering where a certain somebody has been, this is your answer. So just kind of a spoiler there, just a teeny one. I'm not going to give you that much else, because I don't like giving spoilers. First clip was hilarious, and I loved it. It confirmed a theory I had that I'm not going to go into right now. But Shazam, he's my favorite superhero in the DC universe, other than Zatanna. Oh, she's a superheroine, I should say. And Constantine and Dr. Fate. I love Dr. Fate. I was happy to see him in the last one, as it just made me happy. But let's see, who else do I like? I like which character is it? Wonder Woman, obviously. Batman was always one of my absolute favorite superheroes of all time, because he doesn't really have any superpowers. It's more about his intellect than anything else. Of course, I love the Green Lanterns. Hal Johnson's my favorite of all the Green Lanterns. Let's see. Can't think of any others that I really stick out to me right away at first blush, other than Catwoman. Catwoman's kind of an anti-hero, but I like her because she was introduced to me. I mean, I got into comics when I was young. Like I said, I've told this story a million times, but first comic book I read was Wonder Woman. So being a person who was already just steeped into mythology the way I was from the time I was little, because I picked up my dad's Bullfinch book when I was super young, and he let me. I was surprised. I'm like, oh, you're letting me read this? Okay. So, I mean, he said I should be educated in the classics. I thought, yeah. I was reading stuff like Alexander Dumas when I was super young. I mean, way above my reading level. I was reading Mark Twain, all the classics, and I still read the classics because I enjoy the classics. Ones that I never read in school, but I like to keep myself well versed. But Greek mythology just stands the test of time easily. It's timeless. And across the board in all mythologies, there's always that core that comes with it. You know, the foolishness of humanity, and the how chaotic the gods and goddesses are, and sometimes why they like messing with us. And but it's intriguing. Sometimes the gods take pity upon humanity, and you know, there are a lot of different themes that just kind of run through myth in and of itself, and there's always something to be learned. I think there are kernels of truth in legends and myths and lore and etc. But beyond that, I really don't have that much to say, other than I think today is the day. Of course, sciatica is not really giving my circuit brother that many breaks. We've made some progress. It's slow going, but I think that eventually we will have that studio up and running, and starting out with just reviews of stuff, which is, you know, my bread and butter. And later on, I'm going to do stop motion, animation, playthroughs, and interviews with actual people. not sure what else to say other than this is a big, huge step for me, and wanting to get more content out there is, I know from a lot of YouTubers' perspectives, they say, don't go into YouTube, don't do it. But I want to do it. This is something that I have been wanting to do for a long time. I've been posting things to YouTube since 2008, since my mother passed away. But it was more so an outlet and a way to cope, honestly, because had I not had that outlet, I don't know what I would have done with myself, but it definitely helped. It really did. I know a lot of things I posted at that time, I was still trying to find out what my voice was and who my target audience was. I'm all over the board, so it's kind of a place that I think I can reach anybody, and hopefully I make some kind of impact, who knows, but I do this for fun. I do it because I enjoy doing it, and I will continue doing it until, I can no longer do it. So if I have somebody take over after me, all the better, but who knows what the future holds. That's pretty much all I have to say for what things are happening right now and what I'm working on. But, yeah, lofty things ahead. So until next time, catch you on the flip side. Live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti.